Originally were brought in to solve a planning problem initially, which really encompassed the total project. At one point, we had something like 50 or 60 consultants on the project. We had a fish consultant, remember?
Yes.
we had a bird consultant. We had curtain wall consultants. We had actually more consultants than I've ever had on any project experience I've been involved in. But generally, I would say our role was sort of master planning, conceptual and schematic design for the podium, and sort of knitting it all together.
One of the things that was really intriguing was why Salt Lake City for this kind of ambitious project. And what we learned was that there's actually something like 25 million visitors to Salt Lake City every year. And that comes in the form both of it being a religious center, and there are pilgrims coming from around the world to visit it, as well as it's a very major recreation lifestyle center. So it really is a true destination for recognized on many fronts. And they really didn't feel like they had a downtown that supported that. They did not have a front door to all this activity that really was reflective of it being a world-class destination. From the very first day, our effort was to think about that holistically. How do they all work integratively, including the existing buildings? The Callison view was we're putting together an entire city. The real challenge was how do you create a retail destination in a downtown that does not want to look like a shopping center, wants to feel like a downtown. That was our primary challenge.
90% of the problem was a master planning problem, and once the planning was figured out, then everything followed. So the first step was a planning solution, which our team worked on with 3-4 months, April to through the summer, basically. And then I think once the planning was solidified and tenants started coming in, and the project started to become more viable, then it was more of an architectural problem, which is, I think, really the primary driver with the operable roof and some of these other features that really enabled the project to satisfy all of these requirements.
The mixed-use nature of the project, which includes both 3 existing office towers on the site, as well as one major hotel, made this one of the most complex mixed-use projects that has ever been undertaken in the United States by any city, certainly in such an important location.
Callison, it's a project typology that we're very comfortable with and used to, and this kind of a density we're seeing all over the world. And in other countries, it's based on available real estate, and especially in China, 30 million people in your average first-tiered city, they tend to be much more open to this idea of doing below-grade parking with retail podiums and other uses on top, which I think you might see more of going forward in the U.S. But for this particular project, it was an interesting opportunity to apply some of our skills that we're seeing in other parts of the world and bring it to the U.S.
Conceptually, the big challenge was, or the way we led to a solution would be to take the super blocks and resurrect the idea of carrying the streets through the middle of the super blocks, to break down the super blocks into quarter blocks each, so that it got to be more of an urban scale to them. And once we did that, that's where we overlaid the retail, our retail streets, and that's where we made the major civic connections to the rest of the bordering streets of the downtown.